Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025. All the best, especially health. That is most important. Well, while most people around the world are sleeping off their hangovers right now, we know money never sleeps. So we're going to take an early jump for the new year in the markets. We're going to talk about gold. We're going to talk about gold mines. We're going to talk about Tesla, the chip stocks, and crypto. Let's go. I hope you had a great end to 2024 and an even better start to 2025. I have a feeling it's going to be a great year, and obviously our activities, trading and investing in the markets will play a huge role in that. So, welcome to Drink with Dan. My name is Daniel Wilhelmi. I'm the head trader here at Bull Markets Lifestyle, and this is, as you guys know, our casual show. This is my thank you to you for the first 1,000 subscribers to the channel that we achieved. So this show is going to run about 30 minutes because I'd like to keep it short. No need for you guys to spend an hour and a half on something that could be said in 30 minutes. So let's jump right into it. First things first, we're going to go with first names now. I'm sick of these like RG3X5-78, like sounds like a Star Wars robot. So we're going to go with first names. If you have a question, please put a first name under it. If you don't want to put your first name under it, then come up with one. It's just more human. Like in this AI age, I appreciate any type of humanity that we can have. And I'm also going to bundle a couple of questions because a couple of questions I got were kind of similar. So let's jump right into it. Tom asks, in your gold outlook, you are bullish on gold, but if the US dollar goes up, can gold go up in 2025? Great question. All right, so this is silver. Let me switch to gold. Here we go. So, first things first. It worked in 2024. The dollar went up, as we know. But gold also went up, had one of its best years, as you guys know. You guys know this chart. You guys know what happened. We finally broke above the resistance zone. Boom, great uptrend, almost with no consolidation. A little bit here, but it's nothing major. And now we're consolidating. And the dollar has gone up. Let me get you the dollar right here. This is against the euro. And as you see the strength that happened after the Trump election, right? And it looks very much as if the dollar will break out and we're going to have some dollar strength. So can gold go up in this environment? 2024 has shown us, yes, it can. Why is that? Well, because the central banks around the world have been buying gold. That is a new thing that has happened in the past 2 years, that the central banks, who actually in the last gold bull market 20 years ago used to be sellers of gold, are now aggressive buyers. And that obviously can lead to further upside by gold. I expect it, but it might be a little rocky in the start of the new year. If you look at the charts, no doubt about it, we are still making higher lows. That's good. But I'm not going to lie to you, last Friday and then the Monday, those were really bad candles for the overall chart of gold. As you can see, if you cross out this candle right here, it looked fantastic fantastic might be overstating it, but it looked really good last Thursday. We defended the lower uptrend and the support zone. We broke above this former support zone, now resistance zone, which is basically the lower end of the sideways channel that I've been pointing out for weeks now, if not months. And everything was fine. And I was telling you guys, okay, we're in neutral. We have to get above this resistance zone to get into like slightly positive, and then the big signal obviously will be here. If we get about 27.20, that's when the party really takes off. That's when the big DJ comes in to start playing the music. And then we had these two sell-off days, and now we're fighting our way back. I would say gold right now is a neutral position, but overall, the uptrend is clearly intact. So we're sticking with the uptrend. All right, let's get to the next question. All right, so Vince asks, can you take a look at Newmont, please? Okay, Newmont Corp, former Newmont Mining, one of the big mining companies. Let's get this out of the way. First, I hate Newmont personally, and I'll show you in a second why, and I'll do a video about it as well. I'm just not a fan of the senior producers, and let me show you why. So this is the chart of gold, okay? So we start January 15, right? So we're about like, what is that? We don't have to be like super, $1,128, $1,130 an ounce, January 2015. And we are now at 2,060, 26.23, whatever. That's not the point. We're basically up like 140% in the past decade. Now let's take a look at Newmont. At the same time, it is right here. So Newmont was around $20. It's at $37 now, so 17. So it's up around 80%. So it performed significantly worse than gold itself. And we see this with almost all the seniors. There's very, very few exceptions. It has to do with the cost structure and the mine life and the costs for the mining, and that's why I like the juniors, because the seniors just don't have the growth anymore. I personally, if you don't want to invest in the juniors, not even through an ETF, that's fine. But honestly, and I'll do a video about it at some point because people need to know about it, you're better off buying gold straight up than buying the senior miners. Okay, so Paul asks, can you give us your opinion about the chart of AMD? Thanks. You are welcome, Paul. Of course we can talk about AMD. And here we go. So this is the ultra long-term AMD chart on the weekly. Let me switch to the daily here in a second. So this is the daily chart of AMD. This doesn't look good at all. There was a great trade that developed that you could have, as you can see, which was we have this downtrend and you shorted AMD every time it broke the uptrends. That was a great trade. Worked really well in 2024 if you were a short trader, right? And as you can see, that stock is in a lot of trouble. It basically is down, it's getting close to 50% from its peak in a year. If it goes down like another $10 in the first quarter, which is very possible, and we have a 50% decline, brutal, way worse than the overall chip market. But we also see this triangle formation and it broke to the downside. That's terrible. Support zone, broke the support zone below it, terrible. New year low, that's bad. it just looks really, really bad on any metric that you can see. If we zoom out, you can see this is a long-term downtrend. This uptrend goes basically back to the tech bull market that we're in after the 2022 crash. We broke the uptrend of this uptrend market. This is this bull market in tech and in chips, and this is really, really bad. I would not touch AMD on the long side. There's absolutely no reason to do it right now. Would I short this right now? No, I would wait till it probably hits and confirms the downtrend, and then you might want to short it again. But I would stay away from shorting it, because if Nvidia drags up the chip sector, it'll drag up AMD with it, even though the AMD stocks really didn't do anything for that. So that's what I would do. Ooh, that reminds me. I want to show you a stock that I'm interested in the gold sector. This is not a senior producer. This is, and by the way, this is kind of free value that I'm giving you here at Drinks with Dan. This is actually an advanced explorer, but it's a very special kind of explorer. This is Newfound Gold. All right, so Newfound Gold has been brutal. If you look at the long term, you see this brutal downturn. It just has been crushing. This stock is down almost like 80% from its peak in 2021, right? Again, also a good example of be very, very careful what you do in the explorer sector. Look where gold is, right, compared to 2021, new all-time highs. Look where Newfound Gold is. This is a $500 million company. This is not a small explorer stock. This is an advanced explorer. It's a really big explorer, and the reason is they have this potentially gigantic gold field in Newfoundland. Eric Sprott is a huge investor. I think he pumped over $260 million into this company, and it's just getting killed. I hear it's hedge funds, because this one is big enough for the hedge funds to short, and they're just crushing it because the old chairman was not very good, and the old management not very good in just presenting the story and not promoting Xenophon like promotion type of like pump and dump the company, but you got to make these companies known. They're literally a zillion explorers. They have to stand out. They did a terrible job. But look at the chart formation that we have now. So we fell all the way into this support zone. This support zone goes back basically almost since it went public, right? This is like the last line of defense that this stock had. The reasonable support zone was this zone, and we went through this like it's butter, right? With a hot knife. But now we're in the support zone. We reached the midpoint. If you watch my channel, you know that this happens quite often with the support zones. That's why I like zones better than like lines. I know lines look really nice on a chart and give you this feeling of, oh, it's just one number. But if you look at charts, then it's usually more of a zone in most cases, right? By the way, this even sometimes goes for like uptrends, right? Look at this. This is a downtrend zone, not really a one line. But anyway, so midpoint of the zone, look at this. We formed the double bottom, very nice. The second low didn't even make it to the first low. I love that. So a double bottom where the second low is a little higher than the first low. That's already positive. And we broke the short-term down trends. I really like this. I honestly missed this entry. I admit this myself. I saw this breakout and I wanted to place a buying order at 245. I would have been a champion with that number. Didn't do it though. So this one looks really interesting. Look at the RSI down here. We're already in buying dynamic territory above 50. This one looks nice. Just some free value. As you guys know, always have to say it, I'm not your financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes only. You make your own decisions. But this is one, put that on the top of your watch list if you are thinking about long swing trades in the gold miners. So where were we? Oh, here we go. Got several questions. What are your thoughts on Tesla? All right. Well, I can give you my thoughts about Tesla, though unfortunately you will probably not like very much what you're going to hear. And the reason is Tesla is one of these stocks I have a hard time reading it. If you're a trader, swing trader, or day trader, doesn't really matter. You will see, or you know, that there just are certain stocks, certain sectors of the market that you can read really well, that you have a real handle on how to trade it. And then there's some that you don't. And Tesla is one of these where I don't. I've made money on Tesla on the short side, very nice trades. I made some money on the upside. I lost some money on the upside. I know, sounds crazy when you look at the chart, but I did. It's really tricky. So the overall picture for Tesla, very bullish, but overextended, right? We have this triangle formation. We broke out. We had a bull trap here, bear trap here. That's what I mean with it's hard to read Tesla. A weird breakout that didn't get us to new highs, so it looked kind of bearish. We retested the downtrend. Okay, that is textbook. And then we had the election, and that changed everything, and we're off to the party. But now, as you can see, in December, we're basically consolidating. All right, we're consolidating. We broke the uptrend. That's not great. We are holding this support zone, which is the old all-time highs. So that's still bullish. And therefore, overall, right now, I have to say, what we're seeing right here is nothing more than a bull flag, right? Or B wave. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing, right? Wave A, B is the bull flag, the consolidation phase, and C is the next move up. But we have this break on the other side. So we're making lower highs and lower lows. So that's what I mean with I have a really hard time reading Tesla. It's just a stock that's not for me. So sorry I can't help you there. Okay, Chris asked, what are your thoughts on the Ripple chart? Thank you. All right, not a problem. Let's jump into Ripple. So here we go. So this is Ripple, like since the summer. You see it did nothing and then it exploded. But as you can also see, if we put in these trend lines right here, sorry about that. Here we go. So we basically broke the uptrend already. And we can see that Ripple it's fading, right? It's fading, it's losing its dynamic, it's losing its strength. We see it in the RSI, which is fading down and now reached selling dynamic territory under 50. We're making lower highs. Yeah, we're not breaking down, we're defending this horizontal line, support line right here, which is the old high from 2021. All right, this is what we're fighting with right now. So we broke above it. That led to the last spike to 280. And now we're basically back testing it. That's okay. But man, if we break this, right? If we break this zone, as you can see, we got it. There's nothing here. We went right through this. We got a big air pocket till about like 150. So if you're long Ripple, if you haven't taken any profits yet, then I would really put my stop loss around like 185, right? And basically wait for the end of the trading day for it to be completed in order to trigger it, because you always have the volatility, you always have these long wicks, you don't want to get washed out too early. But this doesn't look good. And also, let me show you something else. Let's get to the weekly. You're familiar with this, obviously, right? So this is the weekly long-term chart of Ripple. And look at this. Ripple has been like the peak of Ripple has been like pinpoint, right? Defining the peaks in the crypto market. We saw it here with this spike, and we saw it here with this spike, right? And then came the big downfall. And when Ripple goes down, it goes down hard. And that's why I'm saying, yes, I know I'm not familiar with all. I'm not a Ripple super expert, but I'm familiar with some of the fundamentals. I know what the Ripple fans will say, blah, 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 and more use cases and this and that. And okay, it's all cute. You guys have a good time with that. I just look at the charts. And if you look at the charts, then you see when Ripple goes down, it goes down hard. There's no reason why you should get caught in it. But more importantly, if you look at the Ripple chart, you see two things. The first thing is Bitcoin is up 5x from the highs from the last rally. Ripple hasn't even made a new all-time high. That should give you something to think about. And the second thing is the warning sign in the Ripple chart. Keep a good eye on the crypto market. This looks like we could get a correction phase that nobody's expecting. And I'm not a crypto hater, as you guys know. But this is food for thought. So let's get through some live questions. Michael asks, what are your goals for 2025? Yeah, I've been putting a lot of thought into it. This is what I do around Christmas time, around New Year's time. You sit down, you think, you reflect. Remember, you need to look at the past to learn for the future. And if you just live day to day, you got to take time in the daily grind, take a step back, right? And take a look at your life and see what you can do, what you can change, what you can improve. I definitely want to improve my work-life balance. It was fine in 2024. 2024 was a good year for me overall. Not a great year, but a good year. And I have high goals to make 2025 great. But it was extremely uneven with work-life balance. It started really great on the life side with lots of highlights. I went to Iceland, I saw the Nordic Lights, and was incredible, and did a lot of traveling and saw a lot of old friends and had a good time and went to concerts, do all the things that I enjoy doing in my life. And there's always a lot of work in my life, and that's fine. But then the second half of my life, especially when I was in New York, was just absolutely crazy. So that has to improve. Jeff asks, you seem like a guy that likes live music. What was the last concert you saw? Ha! Very well, Jeff. Yes, I'm a huge concert guy. I just said it right now. And the last concerts I saw, I actually found some pictures. I saw Metallica in Warsaw. I think that was in the end of July. And then I went to AC/DC in Munich with a friend. That was in June in the rain. That was crazy, but you know, that's what you do when you're a concert guy. So, favorite celebrities you ever met in person? It's true that I have met a lot of celebrities, you know, when you're in New York, and as you know, I live there partially, then yeah, you run into quite a few of them. And I've seen some very, very charismatic people. Met some very, very charismatic people. Arnold Schwarzenegger I saw, incredibly charismatic. Bill Clinton, very charismatic. But I think the two nicest guys, celebrities that I ever met are two guys that most people would not have on their list. DMC from the legendary rap group Run DMC, super nice. This is like, I think like 2 months ago or 3 months ago that I met him. And then LL Cool J, this is like a year and a few months old. Incredibly nice. I was so impressed with both of them that they would be on the top of my list. All right, let's talk trading advice. Andre with an excellent question. Number one trading lesson from 2024. Yes, this is exactly what I was talking about. We're talking about earlier in the life advice, life section. You got to reflect on your trades. I tell everybody you need to write a trading journal and you need to study that trading journal in order to get better. I know that's usually not fun when you have to go back to the losses, but that's what you have to do. So, number one trading lesson for 2024 for me, easy, buy the breakout. If you look at 2024 as a whole, actually all you needed to do were 4 trades on the long side, and you would have beaten out 90%, 95% probably even, of all institutional investors. You would have beaten every indices, every benchmark with just 4 trades on the long side if you bought the breakout. So it was buy the Nvidia breakout, buy the gold breakout in March long, buy the Bitcoin breakout in the fall, and then buy the Tesla breakout in November. If you had those 4 trades, even parallel, you beat the market. So that's what I'm gonna look for and learn better, become better. Buy the breakout, my number one trading lesson. Last question, Jay. Why do you hate day trading? I don't hate day trading. I hate very little things in life except the University of Florida, in football, also only in football and nothing else. Seems to be actually a really cool school. The reason is, because the statistics show you that 90% of all new day traders are broke after 1 year. So if you want to get into day trading, you have to understand that your chance for success is insanely small. It's the odds are stacked against you 9-1. If you think you're the 10%, you're the one golden person out of the 10 people, be my guest. All good. But the percentages say that 90% chance you're going to burn through all the money. That's not necessary. The second thing, and this is the thing why I don't day trade, it's an incredible investment in time and in emotional distress and stress. It all looks cool and fun and nice in the YouTube videos, but the reality is, if you want to make a living day trading and you F up the first 2 trades of the month, and now you're in a hole and you need to pay rent and you need to put food on the table and you need to provide for your family, that puts so much pressure on you. I just think there are better ways to live in life. That's it. I do less trades with swing trading, so I have less stress, I have more time to do the things that I love to do besides the markets. That seems to be a much more enjoyable way to live for me. And that brings us to the end of the show. That's it. Again, have a great start to the New Year's. Let's set ambitious goals in the markets and in life. We only have one life. I can't believe it's 2025. It seems like 2024 just started. I feel like I'm just about to pack my suitcase to fly to Iceland, and that was a year ago. So let's set ambitious goals to have a great 2024 on all levels of life. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.